Lady Lily back with another video, and this is the season finale of Insecure season 3 episode 8, Ghost Like. I want to apologize for bringing it out so late. You all know, well, you all may not know, I celebrated my birthday last week Wednesday, so I just been in party mode for last weekend Wednesday all the way through. So I'm back on track. I know it's coming to you all on Monday, but I had to get my life together, get back to work because I was off as well. So let's go on with the review, shall we? So the show opened up, and it is Issa pretty much going around asking, vendors to, donate food. They're pretty much saying no. Asking performers. She asked one particular performer, will he come and perform? And he pretty much asked how many bitches gonna be there. And she said, just one bitch, me. She has really no support. The only support she ends up getting was her two neighbors. The man who say he don't have the dog, and the neighbor's like, yes, I'll be there. So Issa is feeling a little bit defeated. Issa is meeting up with Molly to eat, and she has decided to pull the plug on the block party for now. She also want to start back looking for a real job and get her mind right. She even convinced Molly to, she was talking to Molly, she even convinced her to try to go work and smooth things out with Torrent, because Issa technically did not agree with Molly's, how Molly went by to cut Torrent out of the case. Well, she, didn't intentionally go to cut him out the case, but she went and presented without him. So she was just saying maybe she need to go smooth things over with Torrent. So Lawrence meets up with his dad, who happens to be light-skinned dude off of 5 Heartbeats. And he was asking him, how was, things with Issa. Was they done? And Lawrence pretty much said, we are done. So Lawrence was talking about all his relationship woes, how he just keep meeting women that was either divorced or needy or got baggage. And he said he wanted something like what his dad and his mom had. It just seemed so simple. And then Lawrence's dad was like, "You think our relationship is simple? You think your mom was simple?" He said, "That's the problem with you young people. You don't want to work for nothing." He said, "Your mom and I had matching baggage." And he said, love don't come easy. He said, you young people need to be willing to put forth the effort, not just throw in the towel, when things go south. You don't want to work. So that kind of had Lawrence wheels spinning. And sometimes in life, you do need those, go-to moments from, someone older, wiser. I think, it's smart to go get some counsel from somebody who's been in the game longer, or who has a productive marriage, Your boys can only go so far, but having a talk with your dad who's been in a long-lasting relationship, is very meaningful. And, as my mom always tell me, they, although people in their generation tend to have gotten married, they had some of the same issues. They had some of the same dramas. I think the difference is with us and them, they didn't have social media. A lot of people often stayed out of business from time to time. So, that's what my mom says. She said the same similar things. People just seem like they don't want to be in a relationship these days, and they don't want to be faithful. So we're going to move on. So Molly is at work, and she and Torrent got named to take the leads on the Metro Ward case. As obviously Torrent was not feeling that, but Molly is. She was like, a bitch is moving on up. So she's excited with Torrent. Like, this is some BS. Issa has decided to seek out the Beats crew, and she is on an interview. I think the guy was a little, how would I say this, maybe nonchalant. I don't feel like he was excited as he was when he first talked to her. He did kind of, ask her those awkward questions. So, why you leaving? We got y'all, and what happened? And I always tell people I hate those questions too in interviews. So he said, he was impressed, and he said he wasn't sure about how much money would be in the budget, but he will submit her name for the higher up. And Lisa's like, yeah, Beast Crew. He's like, Issa, go sit down before you mess up. Anyway, it's the day of Issa's 30th birthday. Issa's turning 30. So Molly picks Issa up to celebrate, to kick off the festivities. So as she's texting Issa to come out, guess who walks up? That damn Nathan y'all been hollering about for the past episode. So Nathan, all of a sudden, been ghost for about a month. He walks up with a bouquet of flowers, and he wants to talk to Issa. Molly told him he's been gone a month, and he needs to get gone. She was like, Issa did not need any drama on her birthday. You need to get the hell out of here. And leave her alone. So he pretty much takes off before Issa was able to get down to the car. So Molly and Issa are arriving to the spot. She is surprising Issa. Issa does not know where they're going. And apparently they are at a cemetery and cinema outing. And it's similar to what we would have here in Chi-Town. Oops, I kicked the camera. It's similar to what we would have in Chi-Town, what we call movies in the park. So I guess they have movies in the cemetery. I mean, it wasn't like sitting on top of bodies, but it was like an open area. And it seemed real nice. Like they had concessions and a DJ and a photo booth. And they was there to see The Last Dragon. While they was in line, Issa does run into Lawrence. He said he was pretty much, there with... he was meeting up with Chad. They was making light talk. They both liked The Last Dragon. And yeah, he goes on about his way. Kelly is holding down the fort. She says she has learned her lesson from Coachella. So she has made an extra large space only for 3 people. And she even got her hair like Shonuff wore in The Last Dragon. She had told the girls that Tiffany pretty much had made her the godmother. And she thought, so they just get to talking. She was asking Kelly what what happened with old boy. She said he won't go down on her. So she ain't trying to be bothered with him. Molly pretty much said, Andrew is dead to her. Is dead, R.I.P. Kelly thought that that he actually had died. And she was like, no, R.I.P. to me. So Kelly thought she saw some dude she used to mess with named Cottrell. And she was like, F you, Cottrell. And then she said, maybe that's not Cottrell. Uh-oh. Then she went over there to talk to him. She comes back. It is Cottrell. So anyway, Lawrence finally meets up with Chad and Joe or whoever that other guy is that be with them. And Chad is holding a purse. Apparently, he is holding his fiance purse because she did not want to take her purse to the porta potty. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Chad and his fiance is back together. And then Lauren said, what did you do? You had to you just bought some flowers and went to church and made a policy, did an apology. Chad was like, hell no. You don't know how much hula hoops I had to jump through to get back with this girl. And then he was saying, what he looked like starting over, So that had Lawrence thinking as well that, even if someone could cheat, they can be taken back. I mean, there have been a lot of people, both men and women, who have cheated and, their lover, their spouse or whoever, they boo things, have taken them back. Probably more so women than men, but yeah, it happens. So that really got Lawrence, I think it really had Lawrence, wheels turning, especially thinking back to what his dad said that, things happen, you got to work, you got to sacrifice. and thinking back to what Chad is saying. So good for Chad. Chad got his baby back, so we'll see. Meanwhile, Molly is in the concession line, and guess what she runs into? Jared. You all remember Jared from the season 1, which I thought Jared was like the perfect guy from her. He was the enterprise worker, and Molly was so stuck on the fact that she was this big time lawyer, and she was dating a man from Enterprise, and she was also stuck on the fact that he said he had one encounter with a man, which he probably was drunk and young. So anyway, they was playing catch up, and Jared is doing pretty good for himself. He said he's still working for Enterprise. He actually got promoted. He is the regional manager. And then he asked Molly, was she a judge yet? And she said, no, she's working on it. All of a sudden, a guy walks up to Jared and say, hey, I got the popcorn. I'm going to grab the drinks. You'll be back. And he said, yes. So Molly assumed that was Jared's lover. So she freaks out. She runs off, bumps into Lawrence. But hold that thought right there and stay tuned. So Lawrence ended up walking over to the area where Issa said, and he gave her her favorite candy, which was Raisinets, and he wished her a happy birthday. And Issa just liked the fact that he remembered, her birthday, as well as remembered, what her favorite candy is. Now, we don't know, is the wheels turning for both of them or not? But yeah, it was just something about that moment that Lawrence still got a thing for Issa, and Issa still got a thing for Lawrence. That was this girl who pretty much get on the mic. She welcomes everybody. Issa remember her from Tiffany baby shower. And we'll hold a needle on that back. So it's the end of the movie. Jared runs back into the girls, and apparently the dude who Molly saw him with at the concession stand was his brother, and he so happens to be there with his girlfriend, and Jared introduced his girlfriend, Amber. So Molly is Salty Molly once again, because Jared was with a woman. The woman who hosts the event that I just mentioned, had pretty much, Issa went to talk to her, pick her brain, and, she was saying this wasn't easy to put together. It took a lot of no's and a lot of hard work. So she kind of inspired Issa to try again with the block party. So it's after the movie out, and Molly and Issa are chilling, snacking away, drinking. And Molly tells Issa that she turned Nathan away, that he actually showed up earlier today with flowers. Issa was not happy. She pretty much was saying she couldn't handle it, and Molly should let her make the decision. And she also, hit below the belt a little bit and told Molly, I'm not like you. I just don't cancel men left and right. And then she said, even how you handle Torrin at work, you were bogus. You just, it's like you just cutting people, you're being negative, and you're doing whatever to get ahead. Which that has Molly stopping and thinking. So it's the next step. Well, when Molly returns to work, Torian tells Molly that he is no longer on the case, and he's actually jumping on another case, and that she got it. And she said, well, who will replace you? He said, talk to Frank. Maybe he can find you somewhere, somewhere to, he'll find you a replacement. But I think you got it on your own. So from there, he said, I've been moved to a harassment case. And he goes and he sits off with the two sisters who Molly had was wanting to work with them at first, and ended up dropping them to work with Torrin. So Torrin actually turned the tables on Molly, and the two girls that she rejected and working with, he's working with now. So Molly is pretty much out here on the island by herself. People ain't feeling her. You're doing dirt moves. You're playing dirty. And when you play dirty, guess what? In the words of Nene Leakes, you never win. Moving right on. Issa is meeting with the young lady from the cemetery movie event. She is giving her insight. She was telling her the connection she have, and she really think this event will be possible. And she's just encouraging Issa to stick with it. But she has to, you know, push through and make it happen. So Issa comes home to flowers from Nathan, and she pretty much, you know, see the flowers, and that urged her to contact Nathan. Molly ends up calling Andrew to apologize, and she's trying to you know, kind of apologize, pour out her heart, saying, you know, she was more hurt than she thought she was. And, you know, he was, you know, at first Andrew was like, I got stuff to do, I'm busy. But then he was like, he was quiet, and he said, yeah, I'm listening. So remember the girl who met up with Issa to talk about the block party, remember she said she had a date. Apparently, the date she had was with Lawrence. So I'm assuming they must have connected at the baby shower. And apparently, she thought Lawrence had gave up on her because she was divorced. And then Lawrence saying, no, it's not a big deal. So when he talked about the women being divorced, it was her. So this is going to be interesting. We'll see how this is going to play out in the wash, hopefully in season 4. Because if the young lady is coming back to work and help Issa out, it's going to come out in the wash eventually that this girl is dating Lawrence, and that Lawrence dated Issa. So that is something in the wash for us to see next season. Issa finally met up with Nathan. She allowed him to come over. He apologized. He said he went back to Houston to clear his head, and when things are not right, he has to get away because he don't know how to handle his emotions and his feelings. Issa didn't ask for him. She said she didn't ask for him to come into her life. She didn't ask to, you know, for a relationship. And she pretty much told him that she needed time to think about it and to give her states. And she told, you know, she pretty much sent him on his way. So a lot of people were saying, you know, is that a sign that Nathan may have mental health issues based upon his behavior, based upon some of the things he said in his conversation. You know, Insecure has a unique way of introducing certain topics and things into their show that are of importance. So we shall see how that goes. So Issa walked back into her apartment. She started cleaning up, finally clearing out boxes, assembling her apartment. Meanwhile, she is playing a 2018, maybe it's a 17 version of You Got That Glow. That was from the original soundtrack of the movie Last Dragon. So she's cleaning up, she's getting her life together, and she ends up ending up the night with a nightcap, and she is on the couch. So somebody made a reference that the couch is a symbolism. First, it was her on the couch upset that her and Lawrence broke up. Then the second season, and it was her up on Daniel's couch, broken, defeated. And now she has come a little full circle. She is on her couch with a fresh new perspective and a new outlook on life moving forward. So that is it. That is all. Insecure has been green light for a season 4. So we will see when that comes out. I'm assuming it won't come back to probably sometime in the summer. So I hope you enjoyed the review. I think this is it for reviews. I normally don't do the Housewives of Atlanta, which I assume it will be coming back on in November. But I plan to try to bring back the car talks. It's just been really crazy, y'all, and I haven't had the time to sit around. I still got a couple of videos I want to see do. So that is it. That is all. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for your support. Have a good evening.